Hello and welcome to anyone and everyone who's decided to watch this video. Today, we're looking at some Ultraman toys, but not just any Ultraman toys, because these are some Ultraman Blokees. What exactly are Blokees? Well, if you're a Transformers fan, you probably have heard of these already. Blokees are these kind of model kit figures. They're advertised as model kits. I'd put them more in like the Lego-y construction type of toy style, and basically they give you just a bunch of fun, cute little versions of your favorite IPs. Basically, they're from China. It's a Chinese toy line, and it's actually been around for a while, but with their recent acquisition of the Transformers license, they have started using that as a push to go more international. And technically, Transformers is the only thing that they're currently selling internationally, but because American retailers know about this IP now, this brand now, thanks to the Transformers acquisition, they started importing the other brands. And when I saw that they did Ultraman, and I've been getting into Ultraman very deep recently, and plus I was already getting really curious about trying out the Transformers stuff, and I do plan to try some Transformers Blokees at some point. But I figured let's start with the Ultraman and add some more Ultra stuff to my toy shelves. And in terms of stuff that has been imported to America, there wasn't that much, but I decided to go with this, which is Wave 7 of their Shining series, and we'll get to the Shining aspect of them a little later on. And I chose this wave because it is based on the movie Ultraman Zero, The Revenge of Belial, a very fun movie, one of the best Ultraman movies, I would say, out of the ones I have been able to watch. And I just thought this would be a great way to jump in here. And as you can see on the big box here, there are 6 figures in this wave. That is normal for Shining series, where we have the Legionoid, we have Junebot, Ultraman Zero himself with his armor from the end of the film, Mirror Knight, Galefire, and the Darkclops Zero. And that is, we gotta talk about Darkclops for a second, because Blokees likes to have chase figures. And normally, the chase figure is like we took the most popular character and made them either translucent or metallic. Not in this wave, though. In this wave, our standard 6th figure is the Darkclop Zero, but our chase is good old Dark Ultraman Belial, the main villain of course, the movie, because, I mean, his name's in it, and the most beloved Ultraman villain of them all, seemingly. And it's the only way you can get a Belial based on this movie. All these other characters have non-Shining versions, although I don't actually think there is technically a non-Shining Zero that's wearing this armor, but like, if you see the movie, this armor can turn into like a crossbow weapon. I know there's a non-Shining version of Zero that comes with the crossbow of this armor. And I mean, we got all the other versions of Belial because he's in a lot of stuff, so he's given a lot of forms. But if you want Kaiser Belial, as he is known in the movie, you can only get him in this pack. So let's get this big old wave box out of the way. Not really much to the other graphics other than the one on top, and it could, of course, you can kind of see the punch lines here. It could be opened up and made into a little display in a store, but this isn't a store. This is my house. So let's just get rid of that, and let's open up one of these boxes, and we can pull out this. We are not going to need these. And every figure in the line comes with one of these, which is like a little mini poster of the advertising group shots they do for these waves, and then on the back you got instructions. It's all of Ultraman Zero for every figure in the set. So this isn't Ultraman Zero. I opened 5 of my 6 already, and just spoiler, Zero ain't in here. I got Zero off to the side. So let's this one will be the figure stand first. So let's open this up. And ooh, I like those effect pieces. So here we got this smoky gray, and honestly, I wouldn't even, smoky might not be the best word. It's a clear gray, very light, and you know, you got the 4 pegs that you can put the feet of the character in. I assume this larger hole is for a flight stand, and then these 4 smaller holes on the side are for these also clear gray effect pieces to tab in. And actually, these are some pretty big effect pieces. I don't even know if you could really get all 4 of them on here. Yeah, they kind of get in the way of each other. Interesting. Oh, and you also notice there are these like little teeth on the sides. You can use those to connect the bases all together in like a line. And I'm actually shocked they don't also have ones on the longer sides, because I know I looked up promo images of some of the older waves that haven't been imported, and there's like one where their stands all got like buildings and stuff. So you can make a city display, and they have those done in a 4x4 lineup. So it's like a little rectangle. And honestly, that's pretty cool. I would like more of them to come with like a city display like that. And I guess we're just gonna layer up these blast effects for the base, because wow, they really take up a lot of room, these ones. You know what, we're just gonna leave that one off and talk about the toy and build up whichever character we got in here. And we, of course, look at that, parts going everywhere. It is the Legionoid. And before we actually build him, let's look at this, because all the characters come with these little cardboard circles with the character on one side and a QR code on the other. And these are hilarious to me, because these are essentially Pogs. And like, it's like Pogs, they're back. They're back in China. And I mean, Pogs were like some weird fad from the 90s before I was even born, but I mean, we all know the Simpsons joke. Remember Ultraman? He's back, but in Pog form. But enough with the Pogs. Let's take a closer look at building our little Legionoid guy. Okay, so I've decided to switch the pair of gloves I'm wearing to something thinner and definitely better for this close-up video of building, but unfortunately some pieces have already been put together here. So we have the crotch section. This is made of 4 pieces, and they are these 2 ball joints for the hips, which you can slide out a little bit, but are on there very tight. And then this little top piece is clipped on here for the waist. And that is obviously the first step, is to put these 4 together. And they have gone on really tight, because as you can see, I can pull the hip joints out, but I can't get them off. So very, very tight joints. And next would be to take the thighs, and you can see there's some nice black paint here on the front of them. And something that I think is very funny with all of these figures, except for the Transformers ones, because they use different base molds, is they gave them all some butt cheeks, which is very, very silly. And I mean, it makes sense, but they definitely could have not done that for their more simplistic art style, but I just think it gives them a little bit more character to give them all little back sides and All you have to do is plug that in like that, and it doesn't matter which side you plug it on because this whole internal section is the same on either end. All that matters is that you get both of the thighs facing the same way. So there you go. And see again, he's got a little robot butt. And then you take the legs and, oh, wait a minute. There's a little graphic on the leg. I don't know. I'm going to go quickly check the box art to see which side this is supposed to go on. So hang on. Well, the pictures of him on the box art actually have his legs cut off, and, well, his legs don't really look like this on the big suit, so I'm actually not going to bother which side this little line goes, and if I'm wrong putting it this way, I can just try pulling it off later for doing some swapping. So now you got the full legs, and then you got to take these clear ball peg pieces and you stick them in here and make sure you get a nice click. These are really hard pieces to put in. In fact, I would actually take the foot and push with the foot on, and see, now we got it in there all nice and tight. This is actually some really good translucent plastic. This isn't that very brittle feeling stuff that I keep yapping about on all the Transformers videos I do. This stuff actually feels really nice. Not too worried about this breaking or anything. Slam that foot in. And next we will do the body and pull this plastic tab out of it. You can see there's a little screw in there, and we will put it on like that. Next you take the shoulder pieces right here. There's no graphics on them, so they can go on whichever side you want. And, well, there you go. There you go. You can see the Shining part of the Shining series, and that screw is, I assume, going to be for the inevitable needing to change batteries. And let's look at the bicep. Again, no graphics, so we can put it on this side with no worries. And then I guess, because he has no hands, we can just slot his drill in here. There you go. And do that again on the other side. Bicep and drill. Next we again have to take a little clear ball peg and put that in on his neck. And you don't actually have to use the fourth one. It is just a spare. All of them come with 4 of them. So actually we will save the head for last. And we gotta put on his chest armor. And then we got this stuff to put on his legs. Where exactly? I believe this is how it goes. I think. Maybe not. Whoop. Dropping pieces here. Great. Okay, the 5 pieces go on front facing so that you can still see the black of the graphic, and use the knees. Where'd the other one of these small things go? Oh, it's on his leg still. Not even paying attention anymore. And then you put this on, get it all lined up there with the knee so that it still works. Take the other armor, put that on, Get that lined up. And lastly, we will take the head. And there we go. We got the Legionoid there. Pull him in a little closer. Probably get him in shot a bit. Bring in his base. You can, of course, tab him in here if you want him displayed. And yeah, but he's a pretty nice looking dude in his bronzy brown. He's got the red thing on his head that is vaguely Autobot symbol shaped, weirdly enough. And you can see his eyes keep lighting up because these things, I think they're meant to be motion activated because there's that graphic on the instructions of a hand holding 0 and doing this. But I usually just give them a little boops on the head, and that's all that activates them. And you can see they still got good range of movement here with the shoulder going in and out. Elbow can do everything you need it to do. Hips, got the knees, you can rotate the knees. You can pull the hip joints out, as seen earlier. I don't know how much you'd need from that. And little ball ankles, like they do everything you need them to do. Waist, definitely fun here. I love the little drill arms. Can have him digging. Pretty, he's a fun little one. I think he was actually the one of the 6 I was the least excited about. I liked having him. I liked the idea of getting him, and especially because, spoiler for the other figures, you can see so little of his light here that he's the one that feels the least changed. Like, I don't have a non-shining version of this character. I know there is one, but like, I bet it's not really that different other than his eyes light up, and because of the way his head is shaped with this big sloop forward, you're kind of hard seeing the eyes. So I think the sculpt's cool, and I love the metallic paint here for the drills and everything. And these are actually pretty pointy drills. Like, these feel a little sharp. But, I definitely like the figure overall. I just think for the shining concept, he is probably the weakest. But we can forget about the Legionoid for now and talk about the other figures in this set. Finally, after all, it is a wave of 6, and since the movie is called Ultraman Zero, let's start with Ultraman Zero here on his own base, which we will take that off, and he has these yellow crystal thingies. I don't really remember any crystals like these in the movie, so maybe I'll have to give it another watch, but As for Zero himself, he is looking very much like Ultraman Zero. Zero's got a pretty decent design. There is a little bit of a discrepancy in the shades of blue for the painted blue on his legs as opposed to the molded blue of his body, but that's all right. And he's got the armor, and there is detail under there, but it's not 100% a normal Ultraman Zero look, so I don't know if you could really play with this as a regular Ultraman Zero. And he's got fisted hands on. He did come with weapon-holding hands, but there are no weapon accessories with these figures, so not really a reason to use them. And he's got the armor on. You can take off these little back pieces if you wanted. I don't know why you would. And there he is from the back. He's got the copy back there. And he's got his sword on his arm for swooshing and slashing. And then he also is one of the weaker lighting wise to me. He's a bit harder to get his head bonks, although of course on camera he does it the first time. And you can see his color timer there. It looks beautiful. It looks wonderful. And the eyes, they look good. They're definitely not as impressive as some of the other figures we're about to see. The worst part is the extra timer on his head, obviously an homage to his papa, Ultra 7, because it's molded in yellow like his eyes, because it's probably the same piece under there. but it's got that light layer of green paint that's just blocking out the light and just having a little circle go around it. That doesn't look good, but at least his timer on his chest is very, very beautiful, very bright. Definitely the part that has the most light coming out of it, actually. And in darker rooms, you would actually be able to see some of the light coming out of his neck. Actually, you can kind of see a little of it if I get him at the right angle. Like, you can see that in a darker light, see that coming down, which we'll probably show that off later in the video. We'll just put 0 there. We don't have to put him back on his base. And next we'll bring in probably my least favorite of the set, unfortunately, and that is Junebot, who is my least favorite figure, but he's probably got my favorite base with the green energy that I'm blanking on the name of at the moment from the film bursting out of it, and you can put these in whatever position you want. I just have them like that for now. And why is Junebot my least favorite? Well, first off, I think his proportions don't look as well in this style. I feel everything feels wrong, and yeah, parts come off of him all the time. Like, everything is just getting in the way. Like, I could tell just from building the Legionoid there that even though he's also got bulky parts, he's just way better. Like, Junebot can barely move in some places, and his shoulders are just going to come off. And yeah, the shoulders are definitely the worst part about it. The legs don't really stay together all that well. They slide around. And his head just looks so giant on his body, which is weird because he's got all this extra stuff bulking up his body. So you'd think he wouldn't have that problem. And he is definitely my least favorite one, and I think his lights aren't that great either. Like, it's just his eyes, and you can see extra glow around his neck because of how these work. I definitely think he's got better glow than the Legionoid, but that's it. Sadly, Junebot is the weakest of the set to me. And next we will bring in the guy, Mirror Knight. Well, pieces falling off his base. And his base has the same crystals as Zero's, just they are now in blue instead of yellow. And he could have been given fists or given these karate chop hands / just flat hands, and I liked these for him better. I feel they match his zen, his personality a little bit more. Also, Junebot also had open hands, but no weapons to hold. And as you can see, because I keep activating Mirror Knight's lights on that big visor of his, and that looks great. And there's a little bit coming through on his chest too, because this is another overlay piece. So it's 2 tiny windows on a much larger window behind them. So that's a very nice glow. And this toy is the first time I realized that the striping on Mirror Knight's arms and chest are green, because on the TV they look kind of more black-like. And he's got the beigey silver mixed in with the regular silver of his body. He is definitely a really cool looking one. Light up again, Mirror Knight. Can get him in some very nice poses. He's definitely one of the more fun ones, and I definitely was happy to get a toy of him. Like, one of the reasons I wanted this set was I just like the idea of having Zero's crew, because all the good guys from this movie do continue to appear in other stuff, and Mirror Knight is easily, in my opinion, the coolest of the team. Definitely like him. Put you right there in the middle. And as great as Mirror Knight's glow is, it's nothing compared to the next guy. We got Gelfire. And here he is. He's got some fire effects for his base, obviously. Again, he had weapon holding hands, but there's no weapons, so give him the fists. And you gotta love the fire pirate giant. Oh my gosh. His overall details are very simple. He is not the most interesting design. Like, he's cool looking, but I've never, like, I love his head design, and his body's a little generic, but I do like that he is a giant hero creature that is not an Ultra. And I mean, neither is Mirror Knight or Junebot. But, oh, frick, we We spoiled the surprise. Look at his glow. Yeah, we gotta talk about his glow now. He's also got a little crest in his chest. But look at that. Look at his head. Look at the fire. Oh my god. Yeah, this is the best part. This is why Gelfire is the best of these figures. Look at that glow. Look at him. He's amazing. Look at that. That is wonderful. Wonderful. Yeah. Ooh, just burning up. Burning up so good. Yes. Yes. Our pirate man looks incredible. And that is 5 of our 6. So obviously, we gotta be wondering, did I get the Darklops 0? Or did I get the chase figure of Belial? And honestly, I didn't care too much about getting Belial because I like Belial. I would like a Blokees version of Belial. But he's got so many other forms, and all of those forms, well, most of those forms have been done in Blokees, so I could get those at some point, and I just noticed Zero's hand is coming out. Our sword's misaligned with his wrist. I'm just going to fix that for a bit. So it's like, I don't care. I can skip Kaiser Belial, plus I kind of want the Darklops. You know, it'd be a little fun to have. And so, which one did I get? I got Kaiser Belial. And you know what? I said I didn't care. I told myself I wasn't going to care about getting him, but I got him, and oh my gosh. Oh, he's so cool. First off, his base is still translucent, but it is in a much more black color. You can barely see through it, and he's got these crazy black and red evil flames look. And look at him. He is basically the Belial. Like in the movie, he is just regular Belial, but with the scar across his face and this big flowing fabric cloak, which admittedly I cannot get to sit as flat on him as it was in the promo art, which I think it's supposed to be able to because it's got these seams in them to put his arms through. And he also has 2 sets of hands. He has these ones, which are technically his accessory holding hands, but oh, took off his arm and to take off his hand. But he also has more proper Belial claw hands, and so he can come in at the heroes and just do his slashy and just, oh, his light's activated too. His are also a little dim, but I like him a lot though, because his color timer comes in really well, and even though his eyes aren't as bright as the other things like Gelfire's fire, there's still a huge sense of life coming in there, and his cracks from his scar kind of glow too, which is pretty cool. And actually, just noticed the nails on the extended hand are painted, but not on the small hand. So it's a little juxtaposition. Let's actually, well, dang it, knocking over cameras. Readjust. Let's let's just give him both of the extendo hands because they're cooler, and still need to readjust the tripod and just get a look at this big guy, everybody's favorite Ultraman villain, looking actually really cool. And I love the double tones on the cape, the cloth cape flowing around, and these are 2 pieces here. Obviously they're holding the cape inside, and I think you're supposed to be able to get this whole bunched up bit inside the collar. Haven't really been able to do that. Don't care, really. I kind of like it all flailed out and crazy looking. I actually wound up being really nice. And if Gelfire didn't glow as well as he did, Belial would be my favorite of the set. And I do wind up actually feeling very happy to have gotten good old Dark Belial here. Now, just to finish things off here, we got all 6 of these nice shining Ultraman Blokees, and we got them facing off heroes and villains, and we're really quickly just gonna give them all the boops to turn their lights on and show how much these shining figures shine in the dark. Shall we? Hang on. Let's just get our secondary lights off as well. And, oh yeah. And you can see why I like Gelfire the best, and also the Legionoid is barely shining at all. Just look at how much they light up, especially Gelfire. Fire, again, very, very fun. And let's just turn the lights back on, because they'll turn off eventually, those figures. And you're gonna want to be able to see things. And that is a look at the Ultraman Blokees Shining Series Volume 7. Very cool, very, very fun toys. Oh, they're turning off now. Yep, there we go. I'm really glad I chose to get into this new toy line, for me anyway, with a new brand. Again, for me anyway, Ultraman's been around for frickin' ever, but I only just started caring about it, and I'm really, really pleased with this whole set, except Junebot. He's a little upsetting, so if we ignore him, we got a bunch of greatness. And even Junebot, like, there's way worse toys than that. And I mean, the only other Junebot I think is the vinyl. We don't even have one of him transforming. He's a transformer, by the way. I didn't bring that up, but overall, I'm really, really impressed. I really like what we got here. Just nice, fun, simple toys that are cute, and they feel well. They feel like toys and not some kind of, this is for collectors only stuff. Like, you can definitely play with these and have a lot of fun. And I'm so glad I jumped in on them. And if you're an Ultraman fan, I think you really got to give Blokees a try. It's a nice new way to play with this franchise, and it's definitely different from everything else they do toy-wise with Ultraman, and I think it's worth checking out. That said, I've been rambling on enough here, so thank you all for watching, and see you guys around. Oh my gosh, I almost forgot! Dinosaur Tank! Can't do an Ultraman video without Dinosaur Tank, the best character in Ultraman, the best thing about Ultraman, the best thing in the universe. Lighten up Mirror Knight, because Mirror Knight is glowing for Dinosaur Tank's awesomeness. And yeah, here they are next to the Ultra Monster series Dinosaur Tank, and they actually look pretty good with him. They definitely scale better with him than most other Ultraman toys, though they're still a bit too big compared to him. Blokees, if you watch this, I doubt you will, put Dinosaur Tank in the Ultraman Blokees line. You gotta do it. He's the best. He's the best. We all know it. Dinosaur Tank's the best. Stand up, Belial. And, okay, I think that's it. This is where the video is gonna end. No lies this time. No tricks. Again, I'll reiterate, thank you all for watching, and see you guys around.